I've been able to do a lot of things in broadcasting. What I've never been able to do is stand in front of 18,000 people and sing. Oh, and also hit a walk-off two-run shot in the same day. Brent Rooker is with us here on A's Cast Live. What got your juices going more? The walk-off two-run shot or standing in front of 18,000 people singing last night?
Man, it was two different rushes for sure. Obviously, the walk-off's cool. Getting a big win for our team, coming through in the clutch when we needed it, is a really cool feeling. But getting up there, on a stage like that is something that I've never done before. So it was new for me. It was different, and it's a really cool feeling as well. So definitely an adrenaline rush, and respect those guys in the music industry who get up there and do that every night.
All right, so you're Zach Bryan. You're a huge fan. You're in his top 1% on Spotify?
Yeah, I'm up there. Spotify Wrapped is always my number one artist. I'm always way up there. So.
All right, so how do you know him, or how'd you get over to be in that situation?
Yeah, so I saw him, I guess, probably 2 years ago. He was in Nashville, played the Ryman. And the guy who opened for him he's also in his band. His name's J.R. Carroll. JR's got his own solo stuff. It's really, really good. Give him a shout out. But so I followed JR on Twitter. He followed me back, and we've just kind of vaguely known each other through social media. So I've known they were coming here, but earlier this week I just shot JR a message. I was like, hey man, if you want to come hang out during BP, come over to the stadium, hang out in the clubhouse before the show, before the game, feel free. And so they did that, and he was like, yeah, for sure, that sounds great. And by the way, do you want to come up on stage and do the encore with us and come sing Revival at the end of the show? And I was like, I don't know if you're kidding or not. If you're not kidding, then absolutely, man, I'm in. So he shot me Zach's manager's number. We exchanged a few texts, got it all worked out, and popped over there after the game. We took a big group of us over, enjoyed the show, and then I went up there for the last song, for the encore for Revival, and did my best karaokeing.
Now, did they know over last night at the arena what you had just done right here?
Yeah, I think a lot of them actually stayed for the first 5 or 6 innings before they went over to get ready. And then I think they had the game on the TV in the dressing room. So they were kind of keeping up with it, because I went over there and they were all fired up because they had just watched it and seen what happened. So that made it even a little bit cooler. But the shout out to those guys. That their whole team over there is awesome. They did a great job hosting us and having everybody over there to have a good time.
So the adrenaline's pumping. How'd you sound?
Probably terrible, but I'm not a good singer. I don't pretend to be a good singer, but I love karaokeing in social settings. So that's just kind of right up my alley. Being a bad singer does not stop me from singing badly. So I'll get up there and embarrass myself anytime. I have a good time with it.
I love it. That's guts, man. You get up there in front of 18,000 people. That's awesome. You know what? Looking at your year, you were so hot early when we had you on the show. And then there's the ups and downs. You make the all-star team. We talked to you about that, how great that was. And there's still the ups and downs. And it's like now, again, you're back on an upstretch. Just talk about your entire year and what you've learned about yourself.
Yeah, man, there's been up and downs for sure, like you said. Obviously the hot start and then kind of going into a little lull after that. But I think the thing for me is I've learned a lot. I've learned success isn't linear. It takes some ups and downs. It takes some adversity. It takes growing and learning. Through those tough times, you got to learn about yourself as a player and as a person, how you handle things mentally. Done a lot of work in that department with Ben Strack, our mental skills guy, mental performance coach. We've worked on a lot of stuff, which I think has helped, and just ultimately never losing that confidence in myself, knowing that what I did the first month and a half wasn't a fluke, but that's something that's in there. That's the ability that I have to come out here and produce for extended periods of time. So just always kept that belief, knowing that if I kept the course, kept believing in my process, believing in myself, that I'd eventually come out of it and get back to having a good approach, taking good swings. That's kind of what I've been doing the last few weeks.
What's it like for you now going through an entire season, not up, not down, an entire season in the big leagues?
Yeah, it's you learn what the grind it is. You learn how, there's no breaks up here. Every night you're going out there and you're facing elite arms. And so you got to get out there and you got to get ready to compete every day. You got to know if you go 0 for 5 one night, that you've got 5 more bats the next night, and there's no breaks, there's no breathers. It's just getting out there competing every night. You learn to not take the really, really hot streaks or the really, really cold streaks too seriously, because you're going to come out of it on the other end one way or the other. You can't maintain a hot streak forever, and you can't maintain a cold streak forever. You're eventually going to find that level ground that shows you what kind of player you really are, and when your confidence is that your belief in yourself as you're a player to come out here and compete and produce every night, you're eventually going to find that level.
We're always talking about offense. The thing that I always find interesting is some nights you DH, some nights you're in the outfield. You can be at a different position. What is that like you got to keep defense rolling. You got to, or keep yourself occupied when you're DHing. How does that affect your offensive game?
Yeah, you try not to let it, right? No, when I'm DHing, I go up in the weight room between innings a lot. We're on defense, I'll go in the weight room, ride the bike, or get on the elliptical, just kind of do some movement stuff just to make sure I'm staying active and staying loose and not tighten up sitting here in the dugout. But, I think once you get used to it, it's not as big of a deal for me. I know some guys handle it differently than others, but for me, it's just making sure that I stay locked in between at bats, whether that's obviously playing defense, staying locked into the game, or going up there, kind of running through at bats. Keep my body moving, staying loose. Just got to find a way to stay in the game, no matter what the situation is.
The science of DHing is so interesting. I've talked to guys who have a sauna at their in their clubhouse. So go and get down into their shorts and get in the sauna, or guys take showers or whatever. It's absolutely fascinating. When I think about right place, right time in somebody's career, has there been that point where you just think about, man, this was Oakland, Rooker, just this, the way it all has happened was meant to be?
Man, there's been a lot of those moments. It's been, just a consistent playing time, consistent at bats. I think last night was pretty cool, just hitting that walk-off. I think the first walk-off I hit was kind of right at the end of when I was really hot, and it was after that I kind of slowed down. And I think last night hitting that second one is just kind of a sign to myself that, all right, we've come full circle. We went through the struggle. We proved to ourselves we can get out of the struggle at this level, and that's huge for a player's confidence. I've struggled at every level I've ever played at, obviously, college, high school, all the way to the minor leagues, but I've come out of struggles at every single one of those levels. And the big leagues was the only time that I haven't, before this year, that I haven't gone through a really hard time and come out of it on the other side successfully. So I think last night, hitting that walk-off kind of showed me, like, okay, we went through a tough stretch in the middle of the season, but we have the ability to come out of it. And that instills more belief and more confidence in myself that I can stay here for a long time and produce at a high level.
Zack Gelof, his start has been amazing. Give me the scouting report on what you've seen, and tell us a little bit about him, what you've gotten to know inside that clubhouse.
Man, he's really good. He's a really special hitter. His ability to use the right center field gap, drive balls opposite field for doubles and homers is pretty special. It's some of the most oppo power I've seen, and when you have the ability to drive pitches that way with that kind of authority, it kind of opens up the rest of the field, makes everything easier. So what he's done and what he's shown signs of doesn't look like it's anything that he can't continue and that he can't sustain for a long period of time. I think he's a really special player who's going to have a lot of success in this league, and he comes in the clubhouse. Obviously, he's carrying himself very well. He handles himself professionally. Has earned the respect of a lot of the older guys, which is a big part of it too. So, we're enjoying having him here, and he's obviously going to be here for a very long time.
How about Butler?
Law is a really, really special athlete too. Watching him, run around, being as big as he is, the kind of power he shows, that's kind of things you know about him. But watching him take at bats for the last 2 weeks or whatever now, he's his discipline at the plate, his pitch selection, his approach has really impressed me and stood out to me as what I think is. I know besides the freakish athleticism, the freakish strength, and the way he runs around the outfield, that mental approach he's able to take in the box is what's going to allow him to be a really good player too.
Walk-off home run, walk underneath, singing in front of 18,000, the finale of the concert.
Yeah,
right?
Right,
the finale, right. It's not like just some random, it's one of the songs. You brought down the house last night in multiple ways.
It was fun. It was a good night. I had a good time.